So the table is rolled in, rudely interrupting one of the flyest verses I've ever heard, really. I don't remember from whom, but it's Rick, and he eats some strawberries and then comes out of the table and goes from...
And breaks my heart. Right. He was a full-grown man.
Hi, hello, and welcome to another brand spanking new season of another Bachelor podcast. My name is Dylan. I'm saddled up next to one real Nicholas Davis.
What's going on, everybody?
Pat, producer of the podcast, is over there behind my glasses.
So we're back.
You sound like you have contempt in your voice.
Well, maybe I do a little bit.
Do you want to get into PSAs?
Well, I'll just say we're back. So for all you people out there that refuse to pay us, I want you to know that there was a lot of people that were willing to do that for us.
Sure, yeah.
Had a wonderful summer without you.
Right. Now, I just feel as though there's going to be plenty of season to kind of flame cheapos. You know what I mean? But this is tabula rasa. This is the start of something new and beautiful. Class is in session. It's Michelle's season of The Bachelorette.
So you're asking me to clean up my attitude a little bit.
Positive note, huh?
Okay. All right. Well, we're back, and I'm happy to be here, I guess.
Okay, Nick.
No, hold on. Well, I guess, does Nick want to say something before I do a PSA?
I think I was going to tag his PSA.
Okay. And we're going to war with China. If you hear a large bomber overhead, go ahead, Pat.
I think actually the war has already started. That's why the supply chain's so fucked up.
Yeah, exactly. And
hey, no politics.
It's hitting our pizza. It's not about politics. This affects everybody.
I went to go buy my grilled chicken sandwich at Carl's Jr. tonight.
Yeah.
All the grilled chicken, all chicken gone.
Yeah.
I had to eat one of those Beyond Burger things.
These are apocalyptic times we're living in, but thank God class is in session. We've got Michelle's season of The Bachelorette to cover, and we must do it soon.
And Bill Gates has got his wish. He's eating Beyond
All
Meat.
right, go ahead.
All right, I got first a few things here. Any new listeners that are easily offended, get lost. Beat it. I don't need you in the iTunes reviews section. This is a new season, which always brings in new ears.
Right.
And then I have to go in that iTunes review thing, and I hear people calling us racist, misogynist, pigs, everything under the sun. You're not going to like us. If you're sensitive, you cannot handle this content, okay? We're not those boring other shows you probably follow.
Well, I will go ahead and do what Nick was going to do and tag your PSAs, because it's not just the sensies that kind of, get all freaking ornery in our iTunes reviews. And guys, do go to iTunes, leave 5 stars, kind words. It helps the show grow. For new listeners, I want to apologize. We'll get into the show soon.
Yeah.
But if after you hear this episode and you like it, jump in the iTunes ratings and reviews. And if you don't like it, stay away. Don't be like this guy who said, shut up about politics. 1 star. Tell your guests in the future to shut up about politics and their amazing joke writing, commenting on our favorite guest, Alex Sulkin, co-creator, the
Family Guy
He
producer.
co-created Dads, yes. I came for Bachelor Trash Talk, not another conversation about politics. Remember who you are, 3 guys who make a living talking about reality dating shows. It doesn't need to get deeper than that. Now listen, we had a lighthearted conversation about Sulkin writing a joke for Tom Brady at Biden's whatever. And this guy jumps in our iTunes ratings and reviews and writes that. Now I am falling into a trap of talking about this more than I want to. And I'm in my head thinking, who wants to hear me talk about this any longer? So, 5 stars, kind
Please.
words. We won't talk about politics. We'll talk about The Bachelorette.
Can I take it now?
Yeah.
I'm not going to berate you people for being cheapos. I'm just going to incentivize you. If you missed us, or it's the first time hearing us, and you like this episode, and you want more of us before next episode next week, go on patreon.com/another podcast network to hear all our coverage of Bachelor in Paradise. Literally one of the best seasons I think we've ever done. I had so much fun every episode.
So
Really
much fun.
fun.
All right, so guys, class is in session on Michelle's season of The Bachelorette. She's looking to find someone to change the world with. Now, I love Michelle. I don't want to start off on a negative note, but I think fans of The Bachelorette know full well that that's not going to happen, right?
Is this your general thoughts?
No, but also, while I'm stuck on the intro package and before we get to general thoughts, something really stuck in my craw. and I've seen it in the promos for this show, she drains this incredible half-court shot. An incredible half-court shot. And the man she is with seems so unimpressed, can't be bothered with it at all. I don't know who this guy is, but I know he's not right for her because what she did was stunning, and he seemed like he was actually upset about it because he was losing a competition. So let's get into general thoughts. How did we feel about this episode? Pat?
Nikki, you want to go
Okay,
first?
do you want to go first?
Yeah, and even before I go first, I just want to rebut that thing you said. He shouldn't she doesn't want someone who's going to coddle her. She's an independent woman. He's competing against her. Richie Johnson, when I was when I was 5 years old at a basketball camp, said, even if you're playing one-on-one with your grandmother, you beat her as bad as you can. You don't want them like having confidence thinking you're better than you. So
hey, let me tag that. And also, if you go to a book I wrote called How to Close More Ass for Less Money, Cracking the Code, chapter 3, it starts with the titled, Treat Them Like Dirt, They Stick Like Mud.
Okay.
and we'll have the link for that book.
Well, we won't because it's been at Penguin Random House for an eternity. It's just clogging up their publication
It's too
pipeline.
controversial.
It's such a controversial tome, but one that has some...
Steve Bannon can get a book out. Why can't you?
Are there more fucking planes than normal? Because I've heard 700 at this
Now,
point.
Dylan, an iTunes reviewer, said you got to stop talking
Well,
about planes.
This is
can...
hands down the longest we've ever took to get into this show.
Hands down.
We're not into this show?
Hands down.
All right,
I guess we did discuss that half-court shot. General thoughts. I'll go first.
Go.
I've oft called the first episode of these the first day of school,
It's the
and
first day of
how appropriate with a teacher. And I've actually lamented when I've called it the first day of school because you're excited, but then you get your syllabus and you meet all your teachers and it's boring.
I love the syllabus.
But Michelle is such a fun teacher. It's like we did a hands-on team building project right out the gate,
Hate
and I
that.
had fun all fucking day.
Hate that.
I mean, there were a lot of limo exits which you gotta get through, but usually the drama isn't this hot. And I thought, producer intervention or not, I don't know what was going on here, but I enjoyed the notes controversy.
Yeah.
I'm gonna give it possibly my highest score ever for a premiere, 91 knots. Roses.
Yeah, you know,
91
my
roses.
favorite kind of teach is a guy that just gets up there, says, here's the syllabus, you got a midterm here, you got a final there, get the fuck out of here. I'll see you throughout the semester. That's my kind of...
Personal study time
Mm-hmm.
starts now.
Right,
too.
exactly.
Me
All
too.
right. Pat,
All right. It's interesting.
how many pots do you give it?
Hold on. I got thoughts on this because it's thoughts and knots. Is it not, Dylan?
Yeah.
It's general
Well,
thoughts.
it's general thoughts.
It's
Morons.
interesting how this show is now focusing on rooting out the scammers or the people here for the wrong reasons.
Yeah.
You know, we spent a little bit of that in Paradise. I believe 3 separate dudes got caught in the act of coming there and lying about what kind of relationship.
Yeah, well,
status
we
they
had Ivan who made up fake reports about a storm hitting the island so he could bed a girl at the hotel.
He did do that.
And then we had 2 other people.
That's
Brendan.
right.
Right.
That's right. So it's
The fourth
interesting.
wall down.
We're
Yeah.
doing that now. Like Bachelor Nation doesn't understand that 99% of these people, if not 100%, come on here to go on Instagram later on and sell Papa John's pizza.
So
The
no
intentions have
one
always been-
sells that,
Oh yeah, they
though,
do.
right?
Demario Jackson selling Papa John's pizza. Friend of the show, by the way.
It is his favorite example of a influencer sponsor,
Yeah.
but it is a rarity. But it has been out there. I
Like
will back him up on that.
Papadias aren't getting peddled on Thotty's Instagrams.
Yeah, it's you're wrong, Dale. All right, let me continue.
And we've
here.
talked about this before. I mean, a very controversial outing of Papa John's, and we've, as I said, have discussed this before. It was not the racial slur. It was that he was adamantly opposed to the skew, the Papadilla, which took the world by storm, and they needed to get Papa John out so that that could hit our tongues. Go ahead.
Oh, yeah. All right, so I always hate the first episode. This wasn't that bad. Michelle is stunning to look at. I'm truly enjoying watching her. She is marvelous looking. I'm very attracted to her. And I think she's into old guys, so I still got a shot. You know what I mean? All right, I'm going to say...
Well, you don't, though.
Why? How do you know?
Because your wife.
Oh, right.
And
think
your
that's what-
baby.
I mean, if the wife isn't there, the baby wouldn't be a roadblock. It's the wife.
42 roses.
Okay, so I absolutely adored it. Looks like class is really in session, and I'm so excited for it. We haven't had a Bachelorette with this kind of, I don't know, She has a comfort about her. She has a quiet confidence. She's making me tongue-tied, honestly. She's so normal, but here for the right reasons. And she's not, somebody like Claire, someone like Claire.
Hey,
Makes my skin crawl.
Yeah, come on, man. That's her name.
Come on, man. The opposite pole. Claire is a nutbag. She is there to chase some kind of adoration from strangers.
She's Mr. Glass, and Michelle is Bruce Willis's character in Unbreakable.
Perfect. 100 pots. So let's get into it. We kick things off with some of that nutty Common Core the kids are learning these days. Did you see that?
What?
Crazy.
I was a little
so nutty.
I was a little suspicious. I don't think that was Common Core. That seemed like was it?
So she tells the kids that she's going to have 30 boyfriends, which is shocking to the children and also not true. It's a hyperbolic thing about this show, and I don't think that needs to be said to these kids.
Well, despite that, Dylan, one of these little twerps says she's very concerned about Mrs. C making out with 30 guys. And I was like, hey, kid, wait till the overnights when she takes it in the can. This show is not for children.
Yeah, I'm going to bleep that.
Ours isn't either, evidently. But
it's so sad that got such a big laugh out of you.
It was great delivery. I was disgusted, though, by the educating these young kids on polyamory.
Right.
It was pretty
It
gross.
didn't need to be said. 30 boyfriends.
It was pretty gross to me. And then she asked these children that she's supposed to be teaching and rearing advice from them on her dating life. Imagine being a parent, scrimping and saving and moving out of the decrepit shithole that is Minneapolis to the affluent suburbs of Edina, only to have the teacher that is supposed to be teaching your child ask your children to play the role of Dr. Drew for her.
Yeah. Let's do a world class.
It disgusted me.
Let's do world class improv.
I'm Bob Kraft.
All right. I am Bob Kraft's wife, and we are sending our kid to this school. And we've just found out that this is happening. Hey, Bob. Okay.
I can't hear you because I'm in Mar-a-Lago getting whacked off. No, I'll do it again.
You're one of the worst, and I mean it, one of the worst improvisers maybe in human history.
I was yes-anding you. I wasn't home.
Don't feel bad. He said the same thing about me.
You were silent.
Hey,
because I was in Mar-a-Lago getting
That's
whacked
not
off.
yes-anding. That's not being in the location I've put us in. We have to move on.
Now, what Nick is touching on here, though, is I believe he's saying Miss Young will be leaving a less important role of enlightening our youth to do a much more important role of locking down a fake TV relationship, becoming a cast member on Dancing with the Stars, and getting some hosting work on Access Hollywood.
100%.
All the important stuff.
I don't think so. I think she's going to go back to the school. She is normal as can be.
No
Anything
way.
on The Family, they seem incredible and horrendously boring because of it.
No, that's perfectly described.
Right.
What a nice, boring family.
Nice, boring family. Michelle might be too wonderful for this show. And this is what's got my head spinning a little bit because I can't put my finger on it. She's hot.
Scary.
She's normal. She's nice. Good family. She's 28 years old at this point.
Well,
You're telling me there hasn't been a nice guy in the town trying to lock this down? And then she goes on to a reality TV show? Something is amiss here.
yeah, why is she sending DMs to Joe? You know what I mean?
That is a good point.
Why is she sending DMs to Joe?
She somewhat said it herself, though. Her parents have set such a high bar for what she believes love should be.
Yeah, that's true. That's the only thing that's
So
going on.
you got to go on a reality TV show to do that.
Pat.
I'm not saying your logic is airtight, but
I don't think she picks anybody. That's what I think happens.
Whoa.
And then I think she locks it down with an NBA player or something because for her love of basketball and all that.
and she knew,
She's too hot for a normal guy.
and she uses,
What are you laughing at?
Because of her love of basketball.
Exactly. Why would anybody think of anything different?
The panic that came over his face for just a brief moment.
But I do think that is how this might play out. She will then have a larger platform.
Yeah.
Because I do think she's altruistic and she wants to better the world, and I think somehow with her platform she will do that. Not just peripheralating the papadilla throughout our country. I was close, and I don't know what it is.
All right, so we play a royalty-free Kid Leroy song. We're pumped up. They give her a red Porsche and tell her to drive until she hits the former psych ward in the desert, Indian Wells. Do you guys want to talk about our hosts who are not David Spade?
I thought Indian Wells was Wells the bartender, cousin from overseas.
Are you referring to? Yes, go ahead.
Never mind.
Are you referring to Michelle's Mrs. C's secret weapons?
Oh, is that what they call them?
Yeah, they're her secret weapons. I can't stand these two.
Yeah.
I really can't. I mean, Caitlin at this point has so much filler in her face. It's more than a Walking Dead episode.
You need not talk about that, but we do need to talk. I mean, this is just...
She looks like the Joker.
This is just if you looked up phoning it in the dictionary, it would be a highlight reel of these two hosting this show. I mean, it's just so uninspired. It's so not Spade.
What a life, though. I feel like they're having a great time with each other.
Oh, it's great.
And their expectations are zero.
Oh, it's great. Oh, it's great. Hang on. I just ripped my headphones out, which is a tough putt. Hang on.
All right, while you're doing that, I'll vamp.
Yeah.
So one thing that we do, it's tradition on this show, is the first episode. We're not going to do the packages of the dudes. We're just going to jump to the limo exits, I believe. We're not going to double up on talking about the southern gentleman that currently resides in California and gets his eyebrows waxed.
Well,
we may mention the stuff we learned in these packages when they have their limo exits, but we don't want to be redundant. I posited this our very first season got shut down, and we eventually acclimated towards it.
And win for Nick. So, yeah, it's a brief programming mention. That is the format of this here show. But before we get to the guys, I do want to talk about the B&Es that Bristow and Tasha do before we get to the limo exits. Now, the only person of importance here really is Ryan, the thick farmer. He seems like a really serial killer.
Yeah.
So let's talk about this really quickly. He has a dossier, a strategy packet with a capital ST. I am confused about this. Mm-hmm. Is it fake? If it is, why are they doing it? If it's real, we don't need a jury of peers, right? Let's just get this guy out of Gen Pop, because what a horrifying thing we've witnessed here in this room.
It was pretty stupid. And look, I don't want to, pat myself on the back, but I do believe this gentleman has read my blog, How to Go on the Bachelorette, Come in Second Place, and Be the Bachelor.
I think he actually just found a stolen PDF of your book and printed it out, and that's what we were seeing.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. By the way, if the guy, I don't want to get ahead of myself, claims he never actually watched the show, which I don't believe him for a second, why wouldn't you? Because he's looking up notes on Scott Baio, the Joker's boyfriend there, Jason Tardik. I would do all that. So when I'm talking in between scenes, I can make small talk with Caitlin.
Right.
I don't think this is a crime, is my point.
Well, it's not a crime to look up how to, you know what? It is a crime. You know how you win this show? You be yourself.
Exactly.
Regardless of the lenses, the lights, the mics, the tears, the fears, the rubric, and the strategy of how to win this game. True yourselfness is the only thing that will push you to the finish line. Mm-hmm. But to print out 50 pages worth of notes this guy's going to be wearing someone's skin in 5 years. So let's just take him out now.
I've got a couple of Nick knows too much on this whole fiasco. I'm just gonna hit one because a lot of my notes are later when we actually bust him for it.
Right.
But like you said, the man said he's never seen The Bachelor. May or may not be true, but somehow he was the lead of Bachelor Live on stage in some city.
Oh, get out of here.
Yeah. Did you know that? I don't even think that's how shocked he was.
Yeah.
He had the hiccups.
I was shocked.
Yeah. A poltergeist just took over your throat.
Now, hold on. This guy really did this, Nick? This has been corroborated and confirmed?
There's a picture of him with the entire cast of
Yeah, I'm blown away by this
ball.
kind of stupidity. Like, how do you think this is going to go? You know what I mean? And maybe they hatched this entire breaking and entering scheme because one of the producers saw that he...
That's it.
Hot take.
That's scolding hot.
It's scolding hot because this fucking moron was probably talking to Rachel or Sarah in the hotel room, like, I've been studying, and they're like, hey, that's fucking nuts. We got to dig that up.
Hey, well, he starts putting them in his backpack. They're like, no, leave him out.
Yeah.
What,
Hey,
their
get
faces?
comfortable.
What was he putting in their backpack?
Yeah,
The
all right.
faces?
So let's get to the guys. First off,
I want to say this: cool it with start getting an Escalade limousine or something like that. The only these limousines, these stretch things, we've retired them about 15 years ago.
Yeah.
These must be the same limousines that they use just for this one night, 2 times a year.
Yep.
They must get him from Burt Reynolds or something.
Mm-hmm.
Happy Gilmore quote.
So first up is Nate. Pat, why don't you go ahead and say his full name for us?
Nate or Nate?
A micro.
His friends call him Nate.
I set him up for a microaggression.
What?
Nothing better than.
It's better Nate than ever.
Yes, exactly.
Oh, by the way, the wife
Okay.
told me last night she's done a little digging herself.
Yeah.
Said on the Sochies he is in fact the front runner.
His eyebrows are so concerning. I don't think he's the front runner at all. This guy, it really, really confuses me. Obviously, first impression rose, but there's really nothing to this guy. He's a big road trip guy. I mean, his entire thing is about how cool it is to be in the car driving to the show. That's his entire package. And we'll get to his family pain later, but yikes.
Road trips are so dope. I'm not surprised that he's the front runner. I was actually going to ask Pat if the Mrs. Maiden name was obvious because, yeah, Nate's the front runner. Mrs. Obvious.
Okay, so
Is she possibly a captain?
next up, we've got Romeo. He gives her a soft hey. He is a mathematician. He speaks French, and he sounds pretty smooth. And then he speaks English, and he sounds pretty gay. Now,
Hey,
There's
should
a
I
fine line between French
Should
and
I
gay.
let the new listeners know that this is where we attack everybody that comes out of those limos?
of course, and we're not necessarily sure. You can color us homophobic if you want to, but you'd be wrong. There's a lot of evidence on this show of gay guys going on it.
Exhibit gay. Colton.
Exhibit gay, Chris, that gay guy that was just on the show. I mean, it's just, anyways. Jack Russell is up next.
Fuck his parents.
Now, Dylan, we're really going deep down on this. This Jack guy, who I assume got kicked out of the military for being gay.
What?
I don't know, man.
Yeah, he's in a white tux. He compares himself to a dog. You got to get out of here, you creepy magician. That's it. You got to get out of here. So next up is Clayton, Missouri Gronk. I guess he's already out as the next Bachelor. How has this happened?
I don't think so. He's the guy who looks like Luke Bryan's younger brother that got dropped on his head.
No, this
Nick
is...
Nick doesn't know enough.
Yeah,
what happened?
Nick doesn't know enough. This guy's already the Bachelor.
Is that what happened?
Yeah, evidently
They got to stop doing that.
How is this process such a fucking sieve? Keep it tight. Don't let people know all this stuff. It's like the challenge. It's like MTV's The Challenge. Every season, I'm a big spoily guy. I love spoilies, especially in stuff with substance, because you can really see where the narrative is, how it's dotting to get to the end, right? And I'm not saying that this is that, nor the MTV Challenge Road Rules, whatever it's called. But every season when that starts, I go to the Wikipedia. Every week, who goes home? Who comes in third, second, first? I just ingest all of it, and I wonder, how are they letting this out?
But you like the spoilies on Challenge, but you don't like the spoilies here? I'm confused.
It's not for everyone. It's not for everyone.
Yeah, spoilies for thee, not for me.
Yes,
I've always
exactly.
said.
All
I
right,
hate
so
spoilers.
Missouri Gronk brings her a yardstick to kind of hit him, joking about old school, nun kind of punitive lesson plans, stuff like that. This is not the length that you really want to abuse a child with.
No, you want a foot.
Yes.
You want a ruler, not a yardstick.
Yes, You want
the
a
length.
foot. You need to wield it with agility and power. You can't have this cumbersome yardstick in your hand if you're going to beat a kid.
And also, you don't hit them on any part of like the body that can be seen. You always take their sneakers off and hit them on their bottom of their feet.
Yeah, exactly.
A phone book.
Hey,
too.
is this the medical sales rep? Is that what he said his job was? Okay.
Yes.
All right,
So, anyways, up next is Jamie. He's the biotech CEO. She says she likes the tan, and I thought, Michelle, he's black. He's not tan.
He's also 47.
But she was talking about the suit. What are you talking about? He's 47 years old?
He looks 47.
He was 32 years old.
Okay.
He
he's-
looks 47.
He has a lot of smile wrinkles. The man is very smiley. I like him. He's
Yes.
Hey, I'm the old fuck. No judgment here.
ironically, no wrinkles on you.
Lots of Botox.
But he seems like a kind man and a biotech CEO, which was like 4 of these guys' professions. Super easy to be a CEO nowadays. Quickly back to Clayton, medical sales rep. That means you got a job from an alumnus from Mizzou. That's how you got that job. Chris G, 28, next.
Yeah, Chris G, 28 next. This guy is Macklemore with a beard, and I just want to really quickly play his entrance.
Oh, I thought you were going to play Same Love.
Michelle, you are the one rose in a field full of daisies, which is to say, even when everything else around you is beautiful, you still dare to stand out.
Which guy is that?
That's Macklemore with a beard. It's Chris G.
Chris G.
Yeah, it's
See-
a G-man, Mr. G. He's from Nova Scotia. He says that they see the world the same way in his package, which I was wondering, how could you possibly know that, though, Chris G? Michelle, you were in a field of daisies.
So stupid.
So we go buckshot through a couple guys
Yep.
who are not going to win. We've got Pardeep. We've got
Well, you got
Ula.
Wesley Snipes from Demolition Man.
Okay.
You're not a party boy?
No, I love Pardeep. He's my favorite person on the show. I'm such a party boy.
I just want to use Pardeep as a pun for
Yeah.
party as much as possible.
No,
before he is
that
eliminated.
is that's an episode title.
We also have Alec with a C. His name will be Carol moving forward. How dare his parents?
Okay. Yeah. My brother-in-law is named Alec.
Oh,
Listens to the show.
Well, we're going to call him Carol Wren.
So,
it was weird, the montage. I don't think they've ever done a montage where they just skip over a bunch of guys.
I mean, they completely paid no mind to so many of these people. So, all right, up next, the school bus pulls up. It is Chris, L.A. by way of L.A., New Orleans, Louisiana. Not good. He has a liver from the bayou, and he is fame thirsty. He's spiking volleyballs to no one. There's a lot to be worried about here. He's also a mama's boy. He has a terrible putting stroke. I mean, there is a lot to be concerned here. If I was, one of those kids in Michelle's class, I would tell her to run away from this guy.
He's a weirdo.
He's a weirdo. He's also talking about his dick very early on. He's like, I'll give you the D.
Well, who's the guy who wants to
This
see?
isn't Wild and Out. This is The Bachelorette.
Oh, it's very over-sexual, this with these exits here. Who's the guy who wants to see Mrs. C's tits?
Well, that was another guy from Louisiana, and I was watching with my wife and my sister-in-law, and when that guy got kicked off, she hadn't seen him do the whole necklace thing. She was like, he sent home that guy? That guy's so cute. And I was like, yeah, well, what he did was his first time speaking to her, he said, you could get this necklace if you show me your tits.
Right.
And then
So she didn't like that.
And then he made a very aggressive hand motion to simulate tits. Like, guys, This is not Wild and Out.
It's not Wild Now.
This is Michelle. You're not standing in front of Nick Cannon.
Right.
All right.
Yeah.
Come on, guys.
Or Cat Williams. All right, so another buckshot. We've got a guy who asks to see her tits. Yeah, we've got a man who broke his foot. He looks sickly, and then we've also got a guy named LT who comes out in a thong. And then a table gets wheeled out, and she lifts up the dome. She screams, and we cut to a commercial break. And in an M. Night Shyamalan type twist, there is a fucking weird guy under there. I didn't know what it was going to be, but it was a weird fucking guy under there.
Well, his name's Rick, and he
Yeah.
wants to list the specials.
Yeah.
I thought it was lame, but apparently I'm a minority. Tasha loved it. Of course she did. Her fiance tried to sell his kidney for Vicodin. How's that going, by the way, Tay?
I also loved
Anybody
it.
check on Ben lately?
Wellness check on Ben.
Somebody do a wellness check on Ben.
Hey, and check and see if Tasha's still with the Lisperer.
I'm not dating anybody who tried to sell their kidney for drugs, yet I still loved this entrance. I thought it was really funny.
Yeah.
But I was probably blinded by the fact for the next hour and a half I was extremely excited because I thought there was a small possibility, no pun intended, that we might have our first little person ever as a contestant.
Right.
on The
Like,
Bachelorette.
don't fucking laugh like that, though.
I mean,
funny.
I was just edge of my seat. I'm like, I cannot wait.
Yeah.
So smart of
This
him.
show has gotten so progressive. I can't believe
I
they're
got
doing
it.
this.
How about the thing rolls down and he's in a fucking wheelchair?
Okay, so you guys.
I would've
Oh my God.
Either one of those, the whole dinner would have been a smart, or the table would have been a smart tactic, because then she gets to know you before being like, oh my God, I'm so much taller than him, or oh my God, I can run without having, and I don't have to push him or whatever wheelchair.
Okay, you guys ready for a double scoop of love, huh?
Yeah.
So Ryan pulls up in an ice cream truck. Thick farmer, skinwalker, skin wearer. He has too many buttons undone, and we continue with this you did your homework, you've studied this game kind of narrative thing. You know, the Svengali strings they're like cables at this point.
It's Team America World Police.
Yes, exactly. 100%. So the Apple guy is up next. Doesn't do a great job. She asks him what kind of apple he is. He says Granny Smith, which is quite literally the only wrong answer to that question.
And did you guys know that right away? Because I was excited. I was excited to come in here with this apple knowledge. I was like, Granny Smith apples are green, you fucking idiot. I had it right here before Michelle admonished him.
No, I'm a huge fan of kind of the rainbow of apple species. I'm a huge Fuji guy. Love a Gala as well. But when he said Granny Smith, I was like, oh, he's nervous. And then later on, she asks him, do you know why that was wrong? And he says no. And for that reason and that reason alone, he has to be sent home soon, because that's a shocking blind spot.
But I was also shocked by Michelle's and you putting out this misinformation that the Granny Smith is the only green apple.
Oh, get outta
let's.
here.
We're gonna forget about Newtown Pippin heirlooms, or the Crispins, or Duke of Devonshires. You fucking idiot! I can't believe we're doing a podcast together when you didn't know Duke of Devonshire.
Hey, Dylan, just to follow up with you, I do believe this man paid dearly for that mistake. I'm looking at my notes here. I believe he got cut on the first night.
Oh, did he really?
Yes.
I mean, people don't fuck around with their apples in Minneapolis, especially. As I've said many times, I'm from La Crosse, Wisconsin, but just across the banks of the Mississippi is our sister city, La Crescent, Minnesota, which is known as the apple capital of Minnesota. It was the first apple tree planted in the Midwest, and has really helped weave
Is
the.
that George Washington chewed on?
Huh?
What?
No, cherry tree. He chopped it down.
Got it.
And
Johnny
lied about it.
Appleseed is the guy
Or he
that has
didn't
the
lie
wood
about it.
teeth because he became president.
Correct.
All right.
Apples have really woven the tapestry of Minnesota. Was my thought.
A lot of hot people in Minnesota.
There's some good-looking people,
Sorry?
but don't walk downtown at night anymore.
All right. So let's move on to this guy.
Buongiorno, principessa!
Okay, so this guy has Asperger's.
No, he makes pizzas,
He
not
looks like a
burgers.
fucking org from Lord of the Rings. I
I'll
can't
tell you what,
stand this
though.
guy.
Who cares about the quality of his burgers? We care about the quality of his pizza, Dylan.
I love this guy. Love this guy. We'll get to him later. Aside from party, because I am a party boy, this guy is unbelievable.
But if he has ass pizza, then we have to really be worried.
He has severe social problems, but we'll get there. So, Kid Toy Firefighter is up next. Says he's here to put out a smoke show. Has that word jumped the shark a little bit?
Smoke show?
Smoke show.
I believe it has.
I think it was a knowing nod to the controversy the term has caused
Sure.
the last couple seasons.
Sure.
And it didn't even seem forced because of him being a firefighter. I thought it was a pun intended fire line.
Flush that one in the toilet and bring dumpster fire with you.
Right. Okay.
Also apropos for this guy.
Yeah, I kind of like dumpster fire. Anyways, so he goes away, and then real big firefighter comes in. It takes PJ a while to get out of the car. The fire truck is kind of just sitting there with its lights flashing, And I thought it would be, a little macabre, but also really funny if they just wheeled out someone who needed medical attention, and then they just moved on. I hate when he laughs like that. So, poor man's. Oh yeah,
I loved the dichotomy of the giant fire truck, but then he came out very good looking, well fitted suit.
Sure, yeah.
I just thought it was a dope move.
Yeah, PJ is top 8 material. So, poor man's Dale Moss comes up next. He is in a bed. His name is Brandon Jones. People out there, do yourself a favor and don't introduce yourself by first and sir name, because it creeps people out, right?
Yeah,
because you're not
add city and state is the important thing. I'm Nick Davis, La Crosse, Wisconsin.
you are not at a medical supply conference, right? You don't need to speak to strangers like this.
And don't shake people's hands so intensely. It hurts my goddamn hand. Hey, I want to say this. One Cherie Hickey, my lovely wife.
Yeah.
Also,
You mean Miss Obvious?
right?
Yeah.
She said this guy's also a front runner. She read on the social media.
Oh, get out of here.
Well, it's not me, dude.
He gets her in the bed and he says, I just want you to kind of take a peek at what the rest of your life is going to look like. Which is a wild line for the first time meeting. I mean, it's a wild line. So we get another.
This is Sunday morning.
Okay, so we get another buckshot round.
Yeah.
We get the
Couple
guy.
more weirdos.
Double dribble guy. We get. You guys stop me whenever you want. We get Brian. The nose take. What did I write down?
Nose tackle.
Oh, the nose tackle.
He's from the NFL, but he was actually a guard.
Oh.
In 2017.
Idiot.
He started 13 games for the Kansas City Chiefs, 8 games in 2018, and just kicking around practice squads. He's been signed by like 12 different teams.
Well, that's good. He hasn't sustained too much CT, and he's gotten paid quite a bit of money.
Hey, can I do the first meanwhile of the season?
Yeah, of course.
Meanwhile, there's still a guy talking with his head through a table. If I was there just to mess, I would have said, I think if you don't stand up, buddy, a bukkake party is
Okay, so tonight you're tough, right?
But everybody.
I think it's a fire joke, and I'd like you to take it again. Get that clean.
No, let's not. So, was that your meanwhile?
Yeah.
Okay. So,
I love how I deciphered your notes also.
yeah,
Nose take?
Nose take? What the fuck did I write? So, Joe Maury, the stripper, is up next. It says personal trainer, but he is a stripper.
He sounds like the couple I wish happened at Paradise.
Yeah, exactly. Because Serena is too good for Grocer Joe. I mean, that's just a fact.
100%.
That's
Mari's
just a
right
fact.
in the wheelhouse.
Hey, Dill, why don't you play Joe's entrance?
Maury Joe?
Joe, yeah.
Okay.
It's interesting because this is where Michelle does, I think it jars her memory. Like, I think I know this fucking guy.
No, you're not.
That's not Joe?
No,
We're at Joe Maury.
We're
wrong
at
Joe.
We're at Joe
Sorry.
Maury. Yeah, we're not at Joe Coleman. So, moving on, we've also got the guy with the Tibetan singing bowls. That guy's going on in 5 minutes. I
don't even know his name.
And then the dude who does a backflip as well. And then we get to Joe.
We've named every single person. I just feel like it would be a disservice to not mention Leroy, 27 years old, Polaroid selfie, biomedical PhD student from Dallas, Texas.
Do you like him?
No, we've named everybody. Why would we leave this one man off?
Yeah, that's a good point.
I don't think we've named everybody. I skipped over a lot of people.
All right, so Joe from Minneapolis is up next. Real estate developer, biracial, same age, same state, solid job. He will win the competition, I wrote. And then he began speaking. And it seems like he wants to eat her. And then we find out that she slid into his DMs and he ghosted her. Shall I play the clip?
Please.
I haven't met you before.
We'll see. Have a good one. See you
Have I
inside.
slid into your DMs? Is your last name Coleman?
Yeah.
Interesting turn of events.
Yes.
Yeah.
Now, to be fair, because we can just go, hey, if you want her, this girl sliding your DMs, obviously very attractive. You didn't answer then. What's the deal? What a scumbag. Now you're on the show chasing your heart.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
one could argue perhaps he was in a relationship.
Right. Mm-hmm. Well, that's not what happened.
Oh, right. It's not.
No. No, he went through a stressful and tumultuous time, the uprising of 2020 in the summer.
Oh, that's right. I forgot about that.
I think some very attractive woman slid in his DMs, and then they started talking about basketball. He's like, this isn't going to get me laid. And that was it.
So I wanted to talk to you
point.
because me and Pat have been out of the dating game for a while. We didn't really,
I never got to slide in DMs.
Yeah, we didn't twiddle our thumbs on the digital romance landscape warfield battlefield.
I had to meet women like real men.
Right, yeah.
I'd have to go to a bar and lie to them.
Yeah, exactly. And you actually knew how to do that. Like, I walked into a bar for the first time in New Orleans, and I was like, I don't understand how to go up to a girl with this foundational element between us that I'm only talking to her because I want to have sex with her. I didn't know how to do it. So what I had to do was play a long game and trick women into thinking that I was somehow more attractive than I am because I had a bit of wit to me. I couldn't just fly on this digital warfield battlefield of love with my thumbs like
What's
Nick
the
did.
question?
What happened here?
I'm telling you. She slid his DMs. She's like, oh, you're hot. Let's talk about basketball. And then she just kept wanting to talk about basketball and the kid she teaches. And he's like, this isn't going to get me laid. And then he stopped responding.
Okay, so that's what happened.
I think so at this time. But again, he was going through a very tumultuous time
We'll
with the
get
whole
there.
George Floyd thing.
All right.
But I want to say when I first saw his package, I was like, shut it down. This guy won.
Shut it down.
He was built in a lab for her.
Right.
And this was the monkey wrench.
He is so handsome. He has gray yellow eyes. I mean, they're absolutely stunning. I am transfixed by this young man. So,
And real estate developer, but hands-on with it. He's in there busting down
he looked a
walls.
little wonky with that paint gun. He looked like he'd never used one before.
It was a little Tyler Cameron
Yes.
is a contractor,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
I like to believe what's given to me, and I don't know. I was just like, he's the man.
I love that package they rolled of Tyler Chill. The last 30 seconds they didn't air, but it's just the foreman. He's just like overweight and he hates his wife. He's just like, you can't be dancing anymore, man. I've told you so many times you need to stop dancing. This isn't a fucking Patrick Swayze movie. We're trying to finish a fucking bid.
We're
here.
framing out a house, dude.
And for the last time, put a goddamn shirt on. OSHA's gonna come here any fucking second.
Yeah.
Hey, I want one last thing because I don't like to attack people based on their
It's
physical
commercial
appearance.
real estate, Tyler. I don't know why we have to have this conversation.
Guys, we have not talked about this, but the guy's physical appearance, there's at least 4 guys here with really odd hair and weird dye jobs.
It's a new thing, I think.
Is it a new
I
thing?
think it's a younger, just mixing it up like.
Yeah,
weird,
I mean,
weird marble swirls. And
right.
such.
Yeah, these TikTok kids, I mean, these haircuts, I mean, it looks like somebody took a shit on their head.
They're island boys.
They're island boys.
I have to pigeonhole that into every
Okay,
show we
so
do.
the guys all get out, and the girls step up to see what's going on with Michelle after everybody has gone inside. Tayshia reassures her that she can have any kind of conversation she wants with any of the guys inside. When you look up phoning it in the dictionary, I mean, she offers nothing. A speech is made. Jamie takes her first. He's very complimentary. Michelle says that there are no awkward moments between her and him. And he responds, that's my total vibe. Which breeds an awkward moment between the two of them. This guy's not going to last that long.
The word vibe is just
Don't say it.
it's used so much, but I did like his line, this is our show. They're all here to watch us. That was fire.
Ugh, God, that was not
Confidence.
fire. It's overconfidence. It's
That was
disgusting. All right, then there's a little moment here that I want to get to. Peter the Italian, he's a little bit less mentally ill this time around, but definitely
He's got the weird shaved hair thing going.
Yes, he does, and he absolutely lied about.
Knowing what's in a cannoli.
Well, he made the cannolis. You made the cannolis. Nick laugh. You made the cannolis. Yeah, right, Peter. But as I said, there's a little moment here that I just fell head over heels for Peter here. I just want to play this really quick.
Oh, good.
All right,
Okay.
you want to try it? Go ahead, I'll feed you.
So what is this?
It's deliciousness. Look at that.
That's actually pretty good.
I know, it's freaking good. It's so good.
That was freaking so.
I know, it's freaking
I haven't had a cannoli in a
So
while.
good.
Those things are fucking delicious.
Oh, they're incredible.
Is there some little chocolate things on the top? You got to sprinkle that on there.
Well, I mean, they come in a rainbow of different offerings. You can have pistachio, you can have chocolate chips, you can have chocolate drizzle dipped in chocolate. I mean, it's a beautiful gamut of deliciousness.
I've also not had a cannoli.
What?
It's too much of a dry, flaky treat for me.
No.
I know it would look like there's cream in there, but it looks flaky.
You'd wipe your face with it.
Oh
okay.
my God, yeah. Ricot?
I did,
Just filled with ricot.
but he was
Not dry.
genuinely blown
That was
away,
mascarpone.
flabbergasted that she hasn't tried
think it
one,
is.
and he has a true passion for Italian food.
All right, so she pulls Joe next. She has to get to the bottom of this whole ghosting situation. And Joe says that the reason that he didn't hit her back was because he had a property that was 3 blocks away from where George Floyd was brutally slain. And she responds, as a black woman, you know, I empathize with what you were going through. It was a very tough time for me also, but why didn't you text me back, though? And furthermore, how do I not know, or how do I know that you're not going to leave me again?
It's a good question.
He had a property that was right next to where George Floyd was brutally slain. You're worried about DMs right now, Michelle? Just give him a break. Move on. He's so hot. Just figure this out. He does look at her, though, like he wants to eat her, which is... He creeps me out. I don't think he's here for the right reasons.
No,
I
I
think
don't
she
think so either.
smells it.
Just hearing that speech, and by the way, he would have known that she slid in his DMs, and he would have brought that up. We've actually talked before.
Well,
or something to that
and I
effect.
want to talk about this because, to quote Johnny Damon through Nick Davis, this guy is an all-time dumbass. He says, I didn't think that I was going to need to have this conversation with her. So I was kind of caught off guard, and I wasn't really prepared to, I hadn't prepared anything for this. How could you not have anything prepared just in case she
brought up.
remembers that you guys were DMing? It's just insane, and it's hubris, and it's hotness. People who are this hot, they have not the right idea of what reality is. The consequences don't come thick and fast enough for these people.
If it was true, though, that he didn't have anything prepared, what an incredible default. George Floyd. And she got her off his back.
Right.
Made the recovery.
Do you remember in 2020 George Floyd? Does that ring any bells, Michelle?
I know it probably rocked your kid's world. Well, I'm just a big kid. Rock mine, too. I
Right.
couldn't DM you back.
Okay.
Hey, which one of you guys farted?
Not me.
Oh, okay.
So the table is rolled in.
I did like an hour ago.
So the table is rolled in, rudely interrupting one of the flyest verses I've ever heard, really. I don't remember from whom, but it's Rick. And he eats some strawberries and then comes out of the table and goes from...
And breaks my heart. He was a full-grown man.
Pretty tall guy. But he goes from really goofy to a ton of eye contact. And I'm out. This is one of your biggest fears, right?
You got to make eye contact.
Yeah.
Oh, well, I don't like it.
Yeah, no,
myself.
exactly.
It makes me I'm nervous.
If someone was staring at you, first time you'd ever met them.
You're looking at me now. Now I'm getting it's awkward.
Right. I mean, imagine if I was looking at you like Rick with those bug eyes, those serious, not goofy bug eyes. You'd be in bad shape. And I think Michelle is made very uncomfortable by this man. I don't really see a strong field here, really. I don't see a ton of guys that are in contention, but who knows, The characters really come out as the season goes along.
And he seemed like he had some in the package at the end preview for the season, just seemed like he had some intense moments, conversations. I feel like weird eye contact may make it a little bit further than you think.
Okay. So we talked about Apple Guy. She called him a little healthy snack, which is never a good thing. But we have to get to Ice Cream Ryan.
A Rodney a day keeps the doctor away.
We have to get to Ice Cream Ryan, the farmer Ice Cream Ryan, who I think the writing is on the wall and it's written with blood. He's a full-blown psychopath. At this point, I'm thinking that we're going to get these little clues of his insanity sprinkled throughout his short tenure on the show. But it was cut so short. I would have loved to see more of him. But producers have to keep up the integrity of this process, so he had to go. But before we get to his departure, he's a farmer but not from Idaho. He's farming a vineyard in the Central Coast. He was an actor in a Bachelor play. He coached the Special Olympics.
Took a page out of Pat's book.
Everything has been a lie.
Don't post a picture of you at a club with bottle service.
Sure.
Post a picture on your socials of you volunteering at the animal shelter.
Well, here's the thing, though. He could have never posted the picture of him coaching at the Special Olympics because that was also a lie. Or rather, a stretch of the truth, because that's what his family called the competition they host annually when they go around Solvang and they kidnap little mentally handicapped children and they make them fight to the death. And they invite their friends over and they call it the Special Olympics, and he picks his favorite and he coaches them. And he didn't say that, but I'm pretty sure it's a fucked up Squid Game type thing.
That is despicable.
What's going on?
I have weed delivery. That's not it. I'm sorry.
Oh, that's
But
okay.
Maybe he was explaining a Squid Games when he was talking about Special Olympics. I think his family just plays a fun game at harvest season where they're like, who can pluck the most, whatever the fuck they're farming, and they call it the Special Olympics.
Right. No, I don't think it's that. So, anyways, he
she has already grabbed him, and like, where are we in this?
unfortunately, his tenure on this is cut much shorter than we'd like. She pulls him aside after a chat with Bristow and confronts him about the dossier, and it goes really well for him. He fidgets his hands in hers and then begins his defense.
Hey, Dill, before you play this clip, I want to say something about doing research on someone who you might be dating. Before the wife, well, I didn't get to slide in DMs. I certainly was a Facebook creeper. I used to, when I was going to go on a date with a girl, I'd check out her Facebook. I'd see she's a non-drinker. I'd be like, oop, well, that date ain't happening. See some photos of another girl. She used to be a fatty. Well, that ain't happening. Research.
You're missing gems over here,
You're tough
Dylan.
tonight. You're tough.
No, it's smart, and I'm surprised that a teacher would be so upset that someone is doing their homework.
Nice.
To be perfectly honest, I wrote notes on the way I came here, just so I can get an idea.
So you wrote them, or your friend's wife wrote them, like you just said?
Certain sections, a couple of them they wrote, and a couple I wrote about you. Like,
Inspector Mrs. C.
What?
Inspector Mrs. C.
Inspector Mrs. C?
Yeah, that's what kids call her, Mrs. C. I'm calling her Inspector Mrs. C.
Okay,
I like this lady.
Thanks for clearing that up.
I go back to what's her problem? Doesn't she know failing to prepare is preparing to fail?
Right.
And effective performance is preceded by painstaking preparation.
Yeah.
And other.
Are you quoting John Wooden right now?
There's a number of different people that have preparation quotes, but
Got
it's
it.
important. And that actually might be a John Wooden quote. Preparing to fail is failing to prepare, or failing to prepare is preparing to fail, because I heard it from Bill Walton,
Right.
who was coached, of course, by the Wizard of Westwood.
John Wooden. So he has no good defenses for this. She goes upstairs, rips through the dossier. It is, no exaggeration, 20 to 30 pages. And again, no good defenses.
It's a tome.
Even if he did have some semblance of a good defense, there is literally nothing that can save you from this many pages on anything pertaining to this process or the dating process in general. If you see this, call the fucking police. I don't care if there is just some clairvoyantly beautiful prose about how much he's looking forward to dating you. If there are this many pages, call 911. Now, she sends him home. Incredibly dramatic music plays, and security tackles him before he can get the knife out of his suit jacket. I am so happy this guy's gone, because people would have ended up getting hurt.
But now he's left with quite a paradox, because he just learned one thing you shouldn't do
Is prepare.
is make notes about the person that you're trying to woo. But what does he do with his information? he cannot make a note about it. But if he doesn't make a note about it, then he's doomed to do it again.
Right.
Don't think about it too much. Your head will explode.
He's in a tough spot. He's in a tough spot.
It had me up all night.
All right, so this kind of deceit is fun in the moment, but then it leads us into conversations about being here for the right reasons, and nobody really wants that. But
Quick knows Nick knows too much about the note thing, since we'll never hear from this guy again.
Yes.
Well, we'll see him in Bachelor in Paradise next summer.
oh, what's up with your throat?
I'm nervous.
If bad, they should definitely cast him for Bachelor in Paradise, just so this motherfucker he's got 20 women he's got to put those dossiers on.
Hey man, why do you have 2 suitcases? This is clothes, this is pages.
But someone DM'd Reality Steve, evidently an ex of Ryan's, and she said, I can say with certainty he typed out all of those notes. He's crazy about his Google Docs, which I can respect. We would take trips, and he would make 12 pages of where to go and at what time. He also had a doc of info about me, like my favorite things, and also adds to his relationship doc every time he gets out of a relationship, so he knows what to work on before the next person he dates.
Maybe he's just analytical.
No, he's a fucking psycho.
In fact, some of what they read in that section was advice I gave him. You can't make this stuff up. That was her message. But you can't make this stuff up.
Oh.
But
and
again,
that concludes Nick knows too much.
where does he put these notes?
All right, so like I said, this could lead us into a Claire makes my skin crawly type kind of meltdown, night ruined. But Michelle's not that kind of lady.
No.
She says, let's get to drinking, and she moves on to eyebrows.
Is he also wearing an earring?
He's wearing a lot.
He's got a lot going on.
He's got a.
She's into this guy.
He's got a nose ring. He's a handsome guy.
I'm going to call him earring guy.
You're going to call him earring guy?
It's a little early in the season for me to start doling out the names, but I'm pretty sure that's what I'm going to call him.
Okay. So earring guy says, I don't want to talk about my family right now. And the next thing you know, he is saying that he's never seen his mother and father kiss, which is, I know Mrs. Obvious or Captain C or whatever the fuck we're calling your wife said that he was a front runner, but I don't see how, because this guy is he just is too nervous. He does not have the gift of gab. I mean, he says, who says I don't want to talk about my family within 3 minutes of meeting someone you're going to date? I mean, it's just a crazy thing to say.
Well, he's got to save that for a one-on-one date at the dinner table.
Right, but he blew it.
Well, she's Sith Lord him. She's like, you will talk about your family.
Okay.
That's a Jedi.
Don't attribute
Whatever.
that to the Sith, though,
Oh,
right? Because
sorry.
that would be fucking dumb.
Oh. I don't watch those movies. Have either of you seen your
She
parents
Sith
kiss?
Lorded him?
No.
I knew that. But Dylan, you actually more interesting one.
Yeah, I've seen him kiss.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
So anyways, the first impression rose lands, and earring guy is jazzed. He's saying that, he's ready to tell her why he cries at night and all this fun stuff. He's a front runner.
I wonder if it's because of his own mortality, like me. I mean, I'm just kidding.
Okay, so the first impression rose lands. She talks to a couple guys. She talks to poor man's Dale Moss. He says he's goofy but competitive. What? Goofy but competitive. Anything before we get to said Rose?
Now.
So,
I had one thing.
yep.
Clayton, and I want to get out in front of this because Clayton, when he was talking to her, he was like, my mom's a teacher, so I really respect what you do. I've said it on the program before, and it's not popular. I do not think teachers are heroes.
Oh, God, here we go.
But I want to clarify that I do think good teachers are heroes.
There you
and
go.
I think Michelle is one of those people. I just think the percentage of good teachers to not good teachers,
No, I mean, think
they're
about
diamonds
it,
and
man.
roughs.
I mean, I've had a lot of teachers, but I really only remember the good ones, like Mr. Booth, who when I was 16 gave me Howard Zinn and taught me about the slaughter that is baked in the bread that is this country, you know?
Hero.
Or my John Milton professor, who really opened me up to the beauty of Satan, you know? Were
Hero.
it not for Satan, we would be goldfish in God's fish tank, you know? He's smoking a bong and just looking at us fucking, you know, dribble around with no brains or anything like that. But it was Satan that gave us the curiosity that made us human beings. What I'm trying to say is that you're right. We don't have a lot of really good teachers.
Most of my teachers where I went to school in Lunenburg, Massachusetts, were shitbags. One fucking guy gives me a detention for doing nothing. That means you got to stay after school. You don't get the buses to drive you home to drop you off wherever you fucking live.
He gave you detention for doing nothing?
Nothing. And then Mr. Talbot, if you're still alive, I hope you're dead. He pulls over as he sees me walking down the road. I lived about 4 miles from the fucking school.
He threw something at you?
Like 4:30, he pulls over. He's like, what are you doing? I go, I'm walking home. He goes, okay. And he just drives off. God, I hope he's dead. Teachers used to be horrible.
Yeah. I rest my case.
Although I'm still friends with my senior English teacher, Mr. Lincoln. We talk quite often. He was my hero.
All right,
Hero.
great. So,
Or
first,
Mrs. Hollenbeck, my the Spanish teacher for my school, who ended up having sex with a senior. Hero.
super tight. Okay, so first impression rose goes to Earring Guy. Mm-hmm. I hated the finger under the chin kiss. Really hate it. Makes my skin crawl. Don't understand how this guy's a front runner, but we have been going on long enough. It's now time to get to a pretty big segment on this show. We've got a rose ceremony, and that means it's time for a roll call.
Now, hold on. I want to say this in my defense. I was pretty drunk at this point.
Yeah.
So my notes are scanned.
Okay.
And also, I don't know these guys well enough.
Well, that's fine. We'll give you a rating at the end.
Well, I know you will. Here's a roll call. You ready? Hit the music. Here's who's staying. She states she trusts her heart. Jamie, the oldest guy here in the lot, she says she likes old guys, so this guy's got a shot over here. Anyway,
Well, no,
Leroy,
'cause
I got
the
nothing on
wife
this
and
guy.
the kid.
Martin, he's a skinny fat boy, Joey Fatone from the boy band. He looks just like him, except
killing
he's
it
skinny.
so far.
Spencer, got nothing. Rick, the table guy with his head through the table. I wish he was in a wheelchair. Clayton, he's fatter. Looks like a fatter.
Call him
Luke
regular
Bryan.
size Rick.
I bet he eats too many carbs. Peter, is this the pizza guy? I don't know who I'm talking
Yeah.
about.
Yes.
Looks like an org. PJ, that's my name.
And or
My name's PJ. Everybody that knows me from Massachusetts calls me PJ. Balak, I don't know who this guy is. Wesley Snipes guy, Demolition Man here. Romeo, Daniel the firefighter, Brandon J, Will, Chris S, Robbie wearing the cheap Halloween costume. I think he's a fucking orange or something. Freddie, no clue, but I'm pretty sure he doesn't either, or she doesn't either. Oh yeah, and Christopher G and LT. I don't know these people yet.
now.
There were gaps, there were holes, there were missing people.
I know.
There were gaps, there were holes, there were missing people, there were stretches where you just said names, right? First names, which is not what the roll call is, but
Some names that are not people on this program.
yeah, exactly. But despite all that, I mean, talking about grinning and bearing it, right? In the face of adversity, you really rose to almost as high a peak as you could possibly fly, babe. I give it 72 pods.
Thanks.
Jamie, Leroy, Martin, Spencer, Rick, Clayton, Peter, PJ, Malik, Ryan, Daniel, Brandon J, Will, Chris S, Rodney, Alec, Pardeep, Christopher G, Casey, Olumide, LT, and Joe.
Yep. So,
Thank you.
of course, Joe is the last rose she hands out. Her face doesn't look good when she's giving him that hug. I don't think that she wants this guy around. I think she sniffs out that he's there for the wrong reasons.
Well, he's also going to be their mandate till week 4 because we need the storyline.
100%. So, guys, that's it for us. We'll be back next week with week 2. Class is in session. What's up?
You should be saying class dismissed at the end of the episodes, I think. The people who went home are Brandon, Brian, Edward, Garrett, Jack, Jamari, and Ryan.
Yeah, Wild, the guy that said, you'll get this necklace if you show me your tits, he went home.
You know, they've never done this. I know we're wrapping this up, where we actually don't even meet any of the people that are like 5 guys that are on the show. I don't think they might have gotten 1 second of camera time and then gone.
Right.
Garrett especially. Garrett was not on this program.
Well, a requiem plays for Garrett and the men we lost tonight. Guys, class dismissed. We'll see you next week. Jump in the iTunes ratings and reviews. Leave 5 stars or 1. but 5 stars and kind words. Join us on Patreon at patreon.com/anotherpodcastnetwork. Our entire recap of Bachelor in Paradise is there. We love you guys for listening. We'll see you soon. I'm Dylan saying goodbye. Nick, say goodbye.
Let's get this party started.
Pat,
Goodbye.
say goodbye.
Goodbye.